Hello again. So in this video I wanted to just briefly talk you guys through starting to transfer your image from your source photo to your final paper. So now that we have our grids completely done, you have lines on your source photo, lines on your final paper, the next thing to do is to start transferring. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit before you get started so you don't confuse yourself. I want you to think back to your Razorback that we just did. So now that you have completed this exercise, I want you to remember how we completed this. I did not give you A1 first, A2, A3, A4, and continued it block by block, okay? I gave you it randomly, and I did this on purpose because I didn't want you to get overwhelmed by the end result, which is really, really easy to do using grid. So I'm not saying go completely random with your source photo, but I want you to remember this exercise. I want you to remember how you completed this and how successful you were at the end. We're taking it block by block. Don't overwhelm yourself. So let's get started. Remember when we first talked about this, I talked about what do you know? You know the halfway marks in your grid. So I'm actually going to start with C3 because C3 is where the eye is. And it's an easy marker for me in this photo to constantly go back to. So in C3, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to guesstimate where the halfway marks are. And remember, we're drawing nice and light. Okay? If you're unsure where it is, you can even measure it out if you'd like. It would be at the 3/4 mark. Right? 3/4 inches, which I'm pretty spot on. So that's where you guys would look. Okay? So if you want to be exact and use your ruler to find the halfway mark, that's absolutely fine. You could do the same thing with your ruler on the source photo. Okay? It's a 1/4 inch. So you can mark it, and that way you're absolutely sure that you're in the right spot. Okay, so what do I know about my photo? I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, I know that the corner of the eye is just barely in this first quadrant. So that's what I'm going to draw first. I'm going to draw the corner of the eye. And I know if I break it down into quarters that the bottom of the eye hits this corner here of the quadrant, of the 3/4 quadrant, if I break that down. Okay, so I know that it comes up and around, and then it comes down and over. Okay, now remember, we're drawing this nice and light. I want to be able to erase it. So all the marks that I just made, okay, all those little lines, all of them can be erased. Okay, that's what I'm going for. I'm going to look even closer to this image. Now remember, guys, these are black and white, so some of the details missing. If you want to view your actual photo, I have sent you an email link that you can access to see all of these photos in color. So no excuses for detail. You can zoom into it, figure it out, you know, have another reference on hand for you. So once you get, so I got the eyeball done, and now I'm noticing I'm going to complete this block, okay? I know that there's this white space in this red panda's face that comes across, so it just barely goes underneath the halfway mark on the right side, and it pretty much comes underneath the halfway mark on the bottom, and then it comes over. Okay, there's so many ways that you can do grid. One thing I like to do is, if I can find the line, like the shape of his face right here, this little red panda's face, I notice that it comes all the way around through multiple blocks. So I'm just going to follow that down and make sure that it's in the right place throughout my grid. Okay, you can do this, or you can just do one block at a time and work yourself through it. So I know that he has a little iris here. He has a little light spot in his eye. You're not coloring this in with your pencil. You're going to color it in with the oil pastels. So don't get yourself stuck where you did too much with pencil and then the oil pastels, you're going to have a hard time putting it down because you have the lead on there.